to go for families in general. Most options nowadays are, typically not healthy if you're going to go run through a drive-thru. That's why we love Moe's. We know it's fresh, it's easy, it's quick, and there's no shortage of healthy ingredients that typically everyone in your family is going to like and agree on.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about your book. You were very, very candid, and I love the candid collection of essays that you wrote. One Day You'll Thank Me, and I love the title as well.
Yes, One Day You'll Thank Me. That's the title, and I chose that title because that is something that my mother always said to me when she was giving me advice, and I was an argumentative teenager. She would always say, "Cameran, one day you'll thank me." So I figured that would resonate with mothers, and it's done very well. I tried to give advice for not only new moms, but I talk about marriage, relationships, and just life advice that I have gathered over my 37 years.
I love the book. And you all said in the books, you got the opportunity to interview Destiny Child for the NFL Network. And you said Beyonce said something and that you'll never forget it. Can you share that with us?
Yes. So interviewing Destiny's Child, especially Beyonce, I was terrified. I was visibly shaken.
I would be too.
It was like I had seen, she was just the biggest superstar to me at the time, but I was terrible at that job. They fired me and they had every right to. I was bad.
So what did she say to you that you said you'll never forget?
Wait, say that again?
What did she say to you that you said you'll never forget?
Oh, well, she told me when I was interviewing her, she said, "Oh my God, I know who you are. I watched you on The Real World." And I was like, "What? You, Queen Bee, know who I, little Cameran from Anderson, South Carolina am?" It was shocking to me. I'll never forget that.
How was The Real World? You were on that when you were, 19 years old?
I was 19. I was a baby.
Was that a great experience?
It was a wonderful experience. That's a question I get asked a lot. It was such a different time of reality television back when I did The Real World because it was real. There was no editing. There was no forced drama. You kind of had no choice but just to be yourself. You were literally followed 24/7 with a camera. We had night vision cameras in our bedrooms. So if we would turn over in the bed at night, you would actually hear the noise of the camera follow you. It was intense, but it was I learned so much during that experience, and it was invaluable to me. I would go back and do it again in a heartbeat.
I know. Don't you wish it was more like that now? Like how it was on The Real World, but where it was just so much more real, no pun intended.
Yeah, it's different. It's that was real. That was, The Real World was kind of the first venture into reality television, and it was such a huge moment in our generation's pop culture. So it was really cool to be a part of it.
If you just tuned in, I'm talking to former Southern Charm star Cameran Eubanks Wimberly, and she's teaming up with Moe's Southwest and you can learn how to enter Moe's mini chef contest at www.moes.com/mini-chef. And I think everybody should enter because I would want a year's supply of chocolate chip cookies for sure. Don't you think?
Yes. Who could turn down this? I'm like, I'm gonna get one before I leave here. So I'm sitting in a Moe's right now and I'm craving one.
I don't think that's fair. I think you need to send them to me. Can we touch a little bit on Southern Charm? How was that? How was that journey for you?
Southern Charm, it was a great experience. I originally signed up thinking it would be one season, maybe two, and it ended up, it's now on season 7. I feel like I kind of outgrew it. Becoming a mother, my priorities kind of shifted, so I felt like it was the right time for me to exit. But all in all, it was a great experience, and I would totally go back and do it again.
You would do it again, but life changes.
I'm anti-drama. I don't do drama very well.
I was going to say, I don't do drama very well either. So that's what I could understand why you'd want to step away from that for a little while. And so you have your daughter Palmer. I love the name.
Yes. Thank you.
How is motherhood, and how was motherhood during the pandemic? I know you were very worried because of your husband, but how was it with the kids at home?
It was very hard because, school closed, and it was just Palmer and I all day, every day. And of course, you're stuck in the house. You can't go anywhere or do anything. And of course, we still are very COVID cautious. But at the same time, I now look back and I'm like, you know what? I got forced to slow down, and I got forced to spend this, invaluable one-on-one time with my child. And looking back, I'm so glad that I was able to do that, because that's time that, that you will never be able to get back.
I agree. I think that COVID slowed us all down, gave us a chance to have reality checks and realize that we do need to slow down in this life, because we need to enjoy, because, look what happens. Did we ever imagine we would be on a lockdown for as long as we were on lockdown?
100%. Yes. We absolutely need to slow down.
So what's next? What else is new? What's next for you? What's on the horizon?
What's next? I never really know what's next. I fly by the seat of my pants. I never really have a plan. I'm terribly unorganized. But I would love to do a children's book. That's something I've always dreamt about doing. I still sell real estate part-time, and, I'm just a super busy mama to a wild and crazy 3.5-year-old. Keeps me on my toes.
Yeah, 3.5 will do that to you. So how was the real estate market? Picked up, right?
Real estate in Charleston is absolutely crazy. This time last year, we had like 4,500 active properties, and now we have like under 1,000. So there's barely anything left to sell, because everyone's moving here.
That's what I heard. Everyone's coming down to where you are. They're all going to be at Mo's. They're all going to be entering that contest to win.
Yes. So Mo's is doing their mini chef contest, and it's a way to encourage children to get in the kitchen and come up with creative, fun recipes. And the winner gets their creation on the menu at Mo's, as well as a free year supply of chocolate chip cookies and a trip to the Mo's test kitchen. So a great opportunity to get kids in the kitchen, excited about cooking, and the lucky winner, they get a true blue menu item at Mo's, claim to fame.
And what's your go-to meal at home?
I typically either get a chicken quesadilla or the junior burrito. My husband always gets the home wrecker, but I can never finish it. It's too big for me.
I can't imagine. Cameran, Eubanks, Wimberly, thank you so much for spending the time with me. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of What's Up with Wendy's podcast. If you love this episode, head over to iTunes or Spotify or your favorite platform to subscribe and leave a review if you want. Please also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at What's Up with Wendy. And you can also learn more about my podcast and about me on my website, whatsupwithwendy.com. Until next time, this is Wendy Lowy Sloan, and I really hope you enjoyed my podcast, and I hope you'll keep on listening, and most importantly, keep being kind. Thanks so much.